For today's video, I will give you an example or scenario na nangyayari sa Philippine payroll, which is employee may salary increase from previous months or previous year because of appraisal or mandated wage hike from the government. Pero na-overlook yung salary increase for somewhat reason. So kailangan rin makuha kung magkano yung kailangan na balik kay employee sa upcoming payroll. So this is how to compute retroactive pay in Philippine payroll. Hi, I'm Carl, co-founder of Hire, the provider of the most configurable cloud-based payroll system dito sa Pilipinas. Kailangan mabayaran ng mga employer yung mga hindi na clear na wages related to appraisals, hike from the government, and overtime after the committed period. If hindi na start sa proposed date, it will be included in retroactive pay. Since most of the questions from our survey ay same ba si retroactive pay sa back pay? The answer is no. Magkaiba sila. We'll tackle back pay, last pay, and separation pay on our future videos. So hit subscribe and notification bell para updated kayo. Now, let's get back to retroactive pay computation. We prepared a sample scenario ng isang semi-monthly employee or twice a month yung payroll na dapat pala may salary increase na si employee from his January 15, 2024 payroll. Kaso April 15, 2024 na yung next payout. So kailangan natin makolect yung mga pumasok sa payroll niya from January 15 to March 31st. Kailangan natin ng payroll register ni employee from January 15 or first period up to March 30th or second period niya. Take note, kailangan natin ng mga days, hours, or minutes ng mga absences, tardiness, undertime, or mga overtime ni employee if may mga na-credit siya for those payouts. So, meron tayong column for actual rate ni employee from monthly, daily, and hourly. Ito yung mga nagamit na rate sa kanya for actual payouts or yung mga nabigay kay employee, and meron tayong should be na rates ni employee from monthly, daily, and hourly. Ito yung mga dapat na rates niya kaso din nabigay for somewhat reason. So, ang unang kailangan makuha is the regular basic. Kailangan lang natin i-less sa should be na monthly rate, yung actual monthly rate na nakuha ni employee. Pero kailangan natin i-divide into 2 yung mga monthly rate since semi-monthly or twice a month yung payroll ni employee. So, should be monthly rate divided by 2 less actual monthly rate divided by 2, and yun yung dapat makuha ni employee for each payout. Then, the absent. Kasi sa sample natin, may mga absences sa employee sa ibang payout. So, same lang siya. Kailangan lang i-less sa should be yung actual na nakuha ni employee. Pero this time, daily rate yung gagamitin natin since days yung ginamit natin sa pag-count ng absences niya. Pero depende sa inyo kung daily rate or hourly rate ba ginagamit nyo for those absences computation. So, should be daily rate times kung ilang araw siya nagkaroon ng absent for that cut-off, less sa actual daily rate times kung ilang araw siya nagkaroon ng absent for that cut-off. Then, gagawin lang natin siyang negative since dapat madeduct kay employee yung mga nire-retro nating absences. Why? Kasi dapat malaki yung deduction niya ng mga panahon na yan. Kaso, mas maliit yung deduct since mas maliit yung mga nagamit sa kanyang daily rate. Then, the tardy. So again, same lang siya na kailangan i-less yung should be sa actual na nakuha ni employee. But this time, minute rate yung gagamitin natin since minutes yung ginamit ng timekeeper namin sa mga tardiness ni employee. Divide nyo lang yung hourly rate sa 60. So should be na monthly rate times kung ilang minutes yung tardy ni employee for that cut-off. Less sa actual minute rate times kung ilang minutes yung tardy ni employee for that cut-off. And again, gagawin siyang negative since tardiness siya na kailangan ibawas kay employee. Then, night differential. Again, should be na rate less sa actual na rate. But for my example, hours ginamit ng timekeeper namin to compute the night differential. So, let's use hourly rates. The formula will be should be na hourly rate times kung ilang oras yung naging night differential ni employee for that cut-off less kung ano yung actual na hourly rate ni employee times kung ilang oras yung naging night differential ni employee for that cut-off. Then, multiply it to 0.10. Why? Kasi 10% lang ang night differential dito sa Pilipinas. Pero kung above 10% ang ginagamit nyo for your company, use that percentage in our formula. No need to make it negative amount since kailangan to maging additional earning ni employee kasi mas maliit yung nabigay natin sa kanyang night differential. Sa sample natin, last is the regular overtime. And same also, kailangan nating ilesa should be yung actual. And this time, hourly rate ulit gagamitin natin since hourly rate yung ginamit ng timekeeper namin sa pag-compute ng overtime. So, should be na hourly rate times kung ilang hours yung na-render na overtime less sa actual na hourly rate times kung ilang oras yung na-render na overtime. Then, multiply it to 1.25. Why? Dahil 125% dapat ng rate ng employee ang mga overtime nila. And again, kung mas mataas yung overtime rate sa company nyo, use it. After getting all the differences of employee should be rate and actual rate, kailangan na lang siya ma-adjust sa upcoming payroll nyo. And that's how to compute retroactive pay. I hope this video helps you with your challenges, and if may other way kayo how to do it, please help us too para mas lumawak pa yung knowledge namin and our fellow HRs, payroll, and employees na confused pa sa retroactive pay. If may kilala kayo na may same challenges, just share this video to them. And again, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell para sa mga future Philippine payroll contents. Bye!